Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing about PNGS Gargi ka result update. So you must have seen, right? Gargi ka result आया था कल. So let us understand first कि like business क्या करते हैं. Like 2 minutes में I'll just explain it to you in a very short and brief manner. Gargi designs and sells उनका fashion jewelry, right? Which are in the price point between it can range from 2,000 to 5,000 in that category. Now what does this fashion jewelry mean? Your day-to-day daily wear jewelry that is there, the artificial jewelry or as you call it, that is made up of brass and copper. These are the jewelries that they were selling, right? Now coming to the investment point of view, see, as an investor, if you're there in a business, there are certain things that a business must be doing for you to make money. The most important thing is it has to grow. Now when you talk about a business growing, the growth can come from different factors. Either they must be increasing their distribution, or from that distribution you're getting immense volume and value growth, right? Or you're setting up stores. Varna to the other factor is product mix change ho raha hai, right? They're getting up a new product and it is it is taking a huge chunk in the revenue, right? So all of these factors or either of these factors can come into play, and the stock ends up making money for you, right? These are the triggers, you can call it, or the growth triggers that you can call it, that is essential for an investor to look for whenever he or she is investing in a business. Now when you talk about Gargi, right, earlier, when I think I made this video on Q1, by the way, you can just go check it. So in that video I've specifically mentioned that, like, if Gargi has to achieve that 100 crore by FY25, it becomes a realistic target, because if you look at FY23, I think in FY23 their entire year revenue was around 30C, and I think they had to achieve around 100 crores of revenue by FY25. Now this target could have been realistic by the product mix they were talking about, because if you talk about an artificial jewelry, the normal jewelry, what happens is there is so much competition in both organized and unorganized market, right? It's like fast fashion of jewelry space. So it wasn't really, it wasn't feasible in that way, you could tell, right? But what happened, they were very confident, that they will get this, the diamond jewelry jota, they will start in that, because think about it, right? In one portion of the category, you earlier used to have 100% of your revenue, almost all, or at least majority of the revenue coming from your artificial jewelry. Okay, abhi is product mix which they introduced in Q2, right? Right after Q2 ka result, they gave a notification telling now it is available in all their stores. They told like is by introducing that 14 karat diamond, right? They will change the product mix, and uske wajah se going forward in probably a year or 2 years down the line, if you look at the entire revenue, 50% आएगा वो diamond से, और another 50% आएगा वो normal artificial jewelry से. Now think about it. Earlier they were selling 2,000, 3,000. That used to be their average price. Now this diamond jewelry ka starting price will be around the range of 35, 40. In that 50K range. So can you see the huge gap in value that you're having? So this entire product mix was a huge trigger when you talk about Gargi. Along with that, we saw, like I told you, there has to be store expansion, या volume का, distribution का कुछ ना कुछ आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. We saw that store expansion was also happening at a rapid pace. If you compare in FY23, right, I'm talking about FY23 end, that is Q4 of last year. If you talk about, they had around 30 stores, okay, and they told by FY24 ka, by this year completes, as we complete this year, we will open 10 stores. But we saw in Q2 only they had finished that target, like 10 stores was already opened. Now as we talk, at the end of Q3 ka result, we are seeing that they have totally, right now they have 48 stores, which means what, by they have opened 18 stores when the target was 10 stores for the year, right? So again they have exceeded the target there, and like I told you, product mix bhi ho raha hai, because I kept telling this hira love bhai, right? So these two things, has been a massive growth triggers here. As a result, you are going to see all of this also, in terms of number also. Agar aap Q3 ka result dekhte ho, wo to chappat faat tha result, right? So if you look at it, the revenue also in a year on year basis, if you see, it has grown around 84%. QOQ basis mein dekhoge, it has grown around 63%. Again coming back, अगर आप PAT का भी देखोगे, PAT also has grown by around 1.5x compared to last Q3 to this Q3. अगर आप QOQ भी देखते हो, around 83% का growth हुआ है. So immense amount of operating leverage is there. Another thing I really like is that PAT margin जो है, even PAT margin has expanded up from 11 to around 17%, which, because I'll tell you, if you look back at the con call, they told it would be hard for them to sustain that 11 to 15% PAT margin that used to be earlier, because once they get this hira, this diamond, what happens, they'll have to spend a lot in working capital, right? Because we're talking about an actual gold band and diamond jewelry. You're talking about stone, so you have to first give money to get that raw materials, and then design it, then you give it to your franchise to sell it, and then they'll give you the money. So as a result, the working capital days will increase. So usme they have to spend a lot of money there and inventory. As a result, PAT margin could come down, they had told. But having said that, even the PAT margin hasn't come down. In fact, it's improved. So all in all, for me, and the entire result I have zero complaint, you know, like absolutely like great, unbelievable set of numbers. I know Q3 is one of the best quarters for jewelry space, but having said that, still great, literally great set of numbers. So I will cover this Gargi ka thing in detail, you know, the entire thing in detail once the con call comes out. Hopefully they do a con call, because in Q2 they didn't do a con call. That is why even I didn't do a video. I just gave an update on X. So, you know, because if you read that update, it's quite self-explanatory. So hopefully right now they do a con call, and, you know, I can come and discuss about it more in detail. But having said that, the entire, like I told you, the entire game has been getting that diamond jewelry and that product mix taking place. Now that diamond jewelry is there, we're seeing, you know, we're literally seeing that in Q3 numbers, how well it has been reflected. So going forward, that 100 crore by FY25 is, you know, it's not tough to achieve, considering of course the way they execute it, you know, still remains intact, and there is no problem in when it comes to execution, right? So yeah, that's it about Gargi, and I'll see you tomorrow.